Two, one. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jordan Connect here, and you are live with the 5th episode of Embrace the Chase. And today we have the Jay. It's Aquino, right?
Jay Aquino, yes.
Jay Aquino live with us right now. He is out in California. This guy is a man, the myth, the legend. Anybody who knows Tai Lopez's course on social media marketing has almost 11,000 people that have purchased that course, and he is one of the top producers from that program. He's most notable because he's the founder and CEO of Food Boost Media. It's a social and digital media marketing company, and basically he's been the mastermind behind the success of the notorious and amazing White Rabbit Truck Company, which he has helped drive some of the most viral videos for them. And most recently, hopefully I'm allowed to say this, he'd been reached out to from the producers of Shark Tank, potentially getting them on the show sometime in the future, which I think is just insane. Not to mention that a bunch of really cool news publications and other companies have commented on them and shared their stuff, which is just insane. So thank you so much for being on, Jay. We really appreciate it. If there's anything I missed, go on ahead and introduce yourself right now. Kind of tell us a little bit about what's going on in your life.
Dude, I appreciate you bringing me on this show, and really honored to just kind of share everything that I've learned with Tai Lopez's class. But a little bit about me, I'm a stay-at-home dad. Before this, I was an electrical engineer, got laid off back in 2010, and didn't know what to do, got into this and then just went 180 and got into this whole restaurant business with White Rabbit, learned the ins and outs from, management to even like just sitting and just doing like the dishes and cooking, like everything that a restaurant has become or what they need. And then just recently, I just kind of took over their social media platform, and it's been 7 years with them, and it had its ups and downs, but recently the ups because of the whole social media strategies that I've been implementing for them.
I love it, dude. That's awesome. So real quick for you, for those of you that have no idea who Jay is, here's kind of a question that I'm interested in as well. So, Jay, what kind of got you into social media marketing, and why specifically did you choose food as your niche?
So back in 2010 here in California, there's a big old food truck movement that started with Kogi. They're the pioneers of Asian fusion food trucks, gourmet food trucks. And my friends, high school friends, saw an opportunity to jump on and do Filipino fusion. And Kogi was actually a Korean fusion. So they had Korean meats that was mixed in with burritos, tacos, and whatnot. And we said, hey, there's no Filipino truck that's out there. Let's try it out. So we started that back in 2010. And the biggest social media platform back then was actually Twitter. And we built that up to, I think we have about 18,000 followers. I don't know, something like that. But that was Twitter back in 2010. And then since everything has moved into like new digital platforms like Facebook and Instagram, it was an opportunity to learn how these things worked. And that's where I jumped into social media with Ty's program and whatnot. And I chose the niche because I was already familiar with the food and what people were looking for in food. So that was kind of like the backstory of how it all started with social media and the food niche. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So other than Food Boost Media, what other companies do you own?
Other companies that I own, I have a passion for music, and I have a DJ company. I just actually finished my website with my wife, applying all of Ty's strategies and whatnot, and that's bighitnow.com. And what we do is we provide DJ and photo booth services, and mostly with weddings or whatnot, because that's where the big money's at, and also with corporate gigs, that's where the big money's at. So we provide both of that, and then other businesses. I've been in MLM companies and still involved with that a little bit, and then the social media. So those are the top 3 ones that I have right now that I work with. But I'm always trying to seek opportunity, and when opportunity is there, I'm just going to grab it and figure it out. So that's what it is.
I love it, dude. I love it. So with social media strategy specifically, something that you've been very well known for, especially in Ty's community, is your success with making viral videos. That's what kind of took White Rabbit straight, at least from what I remember seeing. So what, in your opinion, are either keys or what are, I guess, any advice you'd give to somebody on making a video go viral?
That's a really good question. And, a lot of the strategies that were taught on Ty's class, I kind of implemented, and actually I researched and read more about how things were actually, viral videos were created. But some key points and tips are emotion. Have either a happy feeling or a sad feeling, or like a whoa factor where it's like, yo, I never seen this before. For White Rabbit, it was a 6-pound burrito. Like, even before we went viral, I know, crazy, right? Before we went viral on Facebook, we were actually featured on Man vs. Food, Travel Channel, and whatnot, because of the whoa factor of like, whoa, I've never heard of a 6-pound Filipino burrito for before. And then we actually just implemented that same kind of thing where it's like a whoa factor, like, yo, people got to see this. So emotions, that's a key thing. Keeping it short and to the point, because the attention spans of people are really, you just got to grab them and then keep it short and simple. So I'd recommend maybe like a minute to a minute and a half of whatever you're trying to feature. Patterned interrupts, making sure that you have something that will grab their attention. So like whether it's putting like a border on the top of the screen that says best Filipino fusion or whatnot, or must watch or whatever. And to do those, there's an app called InShot. So you go and try that for all the social media people. So check that out. So having colors that just pop from the normal kind of Facebook post, and having great copy, ad copy. So like what we learned, the acronym AIDA, A meaning attention. So grabbing the attention of the customers, of like saying like, hey, check this thing out, or something crazy, right? And then grabbing and then I is interest. What is it? Why is your post interesting? Or and then their desire, like even challenging them. Like for us is like tag a friend if you can, eat this burrito or whatnot. So like, what's the desire in it for them? What's in it for them to even try this, or like what's in it for them to even share it? And then the last thing is A, which is a action or a call to action, whether it's saying like tag a friend or share this video or whatnot. So having all those elements put together and telling people what to do, that is like the main thing. So having good content, good ad copy, and willing to spend some money to make it go viral. So like for us, like for me, I spent $5 a day until I found like, oh wow, it's getting a lot of traction. And then I actually scaled that up to, $20, $25 until it went viral. So what happened when it went viral, other people started noticing it, like Food Beast, they featured us on that. And then Insider Food, they featured us on there, and Viral Thread, and all these outlets, that viral outlets, they're like, hey, they hit us up through email, hey, can we feature your video or whatnot? So you never know who's going to be looking at your stuff, and when it is viral, there's just like a domino effect of people wanting to just post your stuff. So that was really cool. So yeah.
When that happened for you, did you continue that ad spend at $25 a day, or did you back down after that?
I continued it just to see where it would drop off. I left it in for like a good 2 weeks, just to let people know what's going on. And then I dropped it off. But then, like it all depends on the client and how much they want to spend on something. But yeah, I left it just to get people noticed. And then when you have that virality going and you have that much social proof into that ad, you can actually really make it a ad copy, like a separate campaign using all that data and triggering just in our location, say like California or like Los Angeles, wherever the truck's going to be. So when they see all that like comments and all this stuff, you're back with social proof. So that was like one of the strategies, like, whoa, like, which I use for all my clients, like build social proof and reuse the ads. And you'll see that with Ty Lopez. He always reuses ads. But it's always just a different ad copy or a different message, but it's the same thing because he has all the social proof on there. So that's really effective.
Love it, man. Dude, that was fire. For those of you that own a social media agency or you're a small business owner and you've been looking for some advice, definitely go back and re-listen to that entire question. He just dropped knowledge nugget after knowledge nugget. Not to mention, I haven't said this yet, But definitely go follow Food Boost Media. Don't be afraid to reach out to Jay for anything. He may charge you, so don't be surprised for that because he is a businessman. But he's super smart and his advice is on fire. But you know what? We're going to pivot here for a second. And I'm going to ask you a question that I know drives you insane. And I see it online all the time. And it's basically, do you think social media marketing right now is just some kind of phase? Because a bunch of journalists online are saying that it's going to pass and that it's just not here to stay.
Actually, I don't think it's a phase. Everything is turning digital now. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, Amazon just bought out Whole Foods and whatnot. So that's just a trigger. Like Amazon being the biggest online platform, doing something big to collaborate with or do something with Whole Foods, just kind of shows where they're going to be going with social media or even the platforms. But marketing, is it a phase? No, I think it's going to continue building. And some of the research that I've actually found and heard from other mentors teaching these courses, they're saying it's going nowhere. Just Facebook alone, there's about 1.8 billion active users, and what is said that in 2020 it's going to be up to 2.2 billion people, and that's almost like what 20% of people around the world. There's about 9 billion people around the world. And we're not even done yet with Facebook. And that's 2.2 billion people in Facebook in 2020. That's what's projected. So I'm like, wow. And then just researching recently was that the growth revenue of Facebook has grown in the past 2 years. So they're going nowhere. And then Facebook owns Instagram. So they're going nowhere as well. So whatever these journalists are saying, they have their opinion, right? But me as a personal kind of social media expert, or just following these mentors saying where it's going, no, man, everything that has been on like say paper, or that has been on like flyers or door hangers or even like billboards or radio, that's all going to phase out. And then they're going to have to accept that social media is the newest thing, whether it's Facebook ads or influencers in Instagram, that they're paying people. And it's crazy because I just posted something on my personal page about how celebrity Instagram users like Kim Kardashian and all these other people that have this, they use social media. And imagine one post that they post on their Instagram is $500,000. That's what that's crazy, right?
That's insane.
So they're telling me that influencer marketing is going to phase out? Hell no, dude. They're going to capitalize on all this, and it's going nowhere, dude. So to answer your question, I don't know what they're smoking.
I agree with you, man. This is definitely the age of personal branding, and people that are not doing that are going to be in a world of hurt here in a couple of years. I thought it was really interesting. The other day you posted, and I know I'm going to butcher the dollar amount or the specifics, so maybe you can kind of clear it up, but the White House, something to do with the most paid person in the White House?
Yeah, so I posted something about the White House. I just found it, and I'll see these articles and I'm like, wow, I'm like, crazy amazing. So they're in the White House, they hire out a social media person and they get paid about $145,000 to manage their social media. And whatever party you're on, Republican, Democratic, it doesn't matter. Like social media is power. And that, people were saying that that's how Trump won this, because he is a social media like guru in himself, or he understands that this is the next best thing of word of mouth marketing is digital platforms. So yeah, dude, $145,000 paid out to whoever's handling the social media for the White House. It's crazy, man.
That's insane, dude. Okay, so let's get off topic here for a second. Question for you. On an average, like daily basis, so I know you're married and you have, is it one child? Is that right?
Yeah, I have one son, yes.
That's awesome, man. I love it. So in that instance, obviously with your family life, what's your kind of daily routine like juggling businesses and family?
It's tough, to tell you the truth, bro. It's really hard, especially my son. He's going to be turning 2 in September, and he's just, kind of has a lot of energy and he needs a lot of attention. So my routine, basically in the morning, I'll take my wife to work, and it's about, 30, 40 minutes away from my house. But what I'll do in traffic, and what I've learned from mentors, is make your car a place to learn. So I used audiobooks to listen and learn about new strategies of like how I can do things better or implement for my business. So audiobooks is a good thing when I'm in traffic. Um, and then when I come back home from dropping off my wife, I spend time with my son. So there's a work life balance. And then when he naps, I actually check up on my clients to see how their ads are doing, or who's commenting on their stuff, and if there's anything that I need to inform my clients about. And then at the same time, when my son's still sleeping, I'll do some research on potential restaurants that I can offer my services to, and then I'll go ahead and do 5 to 10 audits per day, just to like knock it out. And then either I'll print them out. Actually, I have like a stack of things that are just going out, like a stack of all these audits that are just waiting to go. I don't know if you can see that.
That's insane, dude.
All these audits that are just waiting to go out on the weekend. So I have audits to just hand out to these owners and just kind of do a simple pitch, ready to go. And then when my son goes back to sleep, or when he wakes up, actually, I spend more time with him. And then when 5 o'clock hits, that's when I go pick my wife, and then I'll have meetings with clients after 7 p.m. after I had dinner, I had spent time with like my wife and whatnot. And then after 7 p.m. Or before I go to bed, or after my meetings with clients, whether it's a coffee meeting or a webinar, I'll after my meetings are all done, before I go to bed, I'll either read a book, like to build more knowledge, or do some more courses of what's new, latest, and greatest, and hot for social media, so that I could always be on top of my game. And then that's pretty much it. Like that's my kind of routine. For now, I love to make it better to where I can add exercise and all that, but I'm still working on that. But that's how it's been for now. But there's always some room for improvement.
Well, it's clearly working, man, because not only are you getting success with your business, but I like that you make a point for your family. I mean, I don't have a kid yet. I'm married, and I know that's something that's super important that some people just kind of neglect. They're like, man, whatever, someday I'll spend time with my wife. I'm focusing on this right now. So I like that a lot. But you mentioned reading. What's either your favorite book, or what are you reading right now?
I am currently reading ClickFunnels, actually, Expert Secrets. Yep, there you go. Russell Brunson, man, this guy is genius. If you guys don't know what ClickFunnels, or it all started with ClickFunnels, and the whole thing with social media. It all ties in together, and then using Expert Secrets to even, just kind of implement people, implement whatever he's saying in his book, because obviously it's working, and you see people in these private groups that we're in that are making millions of dollars, and I'm like, whoa, if they're making millions of dollars, like, why can't we?
True.
So that's the books like that's got me like really hooked on all this stuff. So whatever I read is just mostly like on social media now.
I love it, man. So quick question for you then. What advice would you have for any young entrepreneurs or aspiring agency owners?
I'd say I'll go with the agency owners kind of route. Don't give up if you don't have a client yet. It's all in timing. And then, with that in mind, just tell all your friends and your family what you're doing, and what your purpose is, and what your new business is. And if for the people who follow me or whatnot, I'll always post about social media stuff to just let people know this is what I do. That's why I'll post like, results that I've done for my clients, so that people know, like, if Jay's doing that for them, why can't he do it for me? So it's indirectly telling them, hey, this is what I do. Practice the techniques on your own business, or even a friend's business, even if it's just doing it for free, just to get some social proof or proof of your own agency. Cold calls, that's what's going to actually feed your business. So don't be afraid to go out and knock on doors, or go out and DMing people on Facebook or Instagram and introducing your services. And then provide value for them, rather than asking for the sale. Just tell them straight up, like, hey, this is what I do. I'm an agency. I help people get more money. I build business revenue for businesses like yours, and here's some proof. And would you be open to doing that for your business? And well, who would say no, dude? Right? And then this is something that I learned. Follow up is in the fortune, or fortune is in the follow up. So once you give the calls, or you do the calls, or you've give them their audits or whatnot, you have to follow up on these people. Again, it's timing. And if these people are busy or life happens, you got to remind them, hey, I'm still here. Are you still interested? So fortune is in the follow up. And then for the first client, give 100%, because it really will reflect how big your business is going to grow. Because what happens when you give 110%, even if you're doing it at a minimal price, you can now ask for referrals. Or what ends up happening is that they start shooting you over organically. Hey, check out my boy Jay, or check out XYZ agency. They help business grow, and they could help you. So, and then from there, it just kind of domino effect too. And that's how I got like almost 7 clients in the span of like 2 or 3 months. And I was like, whoa, this thing is fire, dude. So another tip is have thick skin. I've dealt with clients that have cursed me out, saying you suck, your stuff doesn't work for me, blah blah blah. It's all part of the business. Don't get all broken down and emotional about that. Just kind of have thick skin and just walk away from it, and be glad to walk away from it, because it's just a headache waiting to happen. Just like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm moving on. Let's go our own ways. And be sure you work with clients that actually that fits your business. Because again, like with a client that I had, dude, they cursed me out, they made me feel like crap, and I was just like, I don't need this. And that's a headache, right? Even though like it was an opportunity, you start learning about them, and you're just like, it's not even worth it, because then they start criticizing every move that you do. And having a client that's ideal is like, they trust you because you're the expert, right? And so with my clients, they don't care what I do, just as long as that they're getting engagement, they're getting new customers. They just, like, even like one of my clients, like my wife, just yesterday, she got the mail, and she was like, oh, here's your check. And what ended up happening is that, like, I'll actually show it to you right here. This is the check. And he actually dated it for the 9th. It's not even the 9th yet, dude. It's what, the 5th or 6th? So that shows that, hey, man, like, he post dates his check because he knows that, hey, dude, I want to keep you on board. Whatever you're doing, just keep on doing it. And these are checks that are coming in like before, the date it's even coming. And lastly, network. Everyone is a potential client. So, go out there, network. And the easiest trick is like when you meet new people, whether it's in family party or, just, in the grocery line or wherever, and where you have time to just talk to people, you're just like, hey, what do you do? And then they'll ramble on saying what they do. And then more than likely they're going to ask, oh, what do you do? And that's an opportunity where you can just be like, hey, and this is one of the things that I learned is that there's a little script. This is how it goes. You know how most people have like Facebook or Instagram, and they'll be like, yeah. And then I'll be like, I help businesses get more customers by using that. And then you just tell them, like, in fact, I just made my client $30,000 in 4 days using Facebook ads. And then it just like goes like, whoa, how did you do that? Right? Then they get interested in knowing about you. And then they start, they keep you in mind now that, hey, I know a guy that owns a restaurant, or I know a guy that might need your services. So it's like a mini elevator pitch, but always network, because everyone is a potential client. So, man, I just rambled on for that.
Oh, dude, that was awesome. I'm going to go back and re-listen to that like 4 or 5 times. That was great advice. Really appreciate it, man. And I agree with you completely. Just from running my own social media company for the last couple months, referrals are a huge thing. Your reputation means absolutely everything. And one of the things you said in the beginning, I see way too many people in groups on Facebook and even elsewhere refusing to do services for free because they think that it's below them. But it's asinine to me that you wouldn't do that, because what you said is perfect. Social proof. And before we even started this Facebook Live, for everyone watching live or tuning in later. Jay was telling me one of the recent clients that he picked up was actually services being traded as a chiropractor. That he was basically like, hey man, you do me and I'll do you, and then before you know it, you get another client, and that's awesome.
Yeah. So it's just being really open and networking and seeing the opportunity. When you see the opportunity, grab it. Like the chiropractor one that we talked about off camera, it was just like he was doing something with Groupon. We already know he's using a third-party thing to get more people in his business. And being, an entrepreneur and seeking opportunity, it's like if he's using Groupon, let me pitch him on my idea that's 10 times better, and then boom, grab the opportunity to where like I have, free chiropractic care now.
Which is awesome, man. Yeah. Now you just got to get a dentist and a local family doctor and you're set.
Yeah, that's all it is, man.
I love it, dude. One last question for you, and then I'll let you go so you can spend some time with your beautiful bride. What's on your heart today? Is there anything you really wanted to share with anyone, or just something you want to let loose?
You know what? I just really, want to be like really financially free. Like I see all this stuff on Facebook, and it's like, man, this guy is so young, young kids doing these things, and it's like, what makes me different from them, So like for me is like creating an agency that can really service my clients 110%, and I want to grow my agency to where it's like, I can outsource my work and I can just live that laptop lifestyle where it's like I could bring my family wherever I want to go. Even like if I'm in Hawaii or on an island or whatever, all I need is my laptop and Wi-Fi, and that's what is in my heart. And I'm doing this for my family, is to because the main thing is like you have to know what your why is. What is your purpose? And that's my purpose, is to make sure that I have a successful agency or I have a successful business, and at the same time I'm taking care of my clients. And actually, I one of the takeaways that I got today was from Jaden Gross, which was in our Ty Lopez thing. And he said that responsibility is equivalent to how much money you make. So if you have a lot of responsibility, if you want to be a millionaire, people trust you with that, with the money that they're giving you, because you have so much responsibility to give them back your services. And dude, that really hit home when he put responsibility equals like basically your bank account, because the more responsibility you have, it's like, it was like a mindset thing. Like, okay, everybody is like, they trust me. So that's what I have my heart in, is my clients and my family.
I love that, dude. For those of you that don't know who Jaden Gross is, he's a 21-year-old entrepreneur, social media marketing agency owner himself, based out of Chicago, and clocking in over $88,000 a month. Great. So for anybody that doesn't know how to do math, that's over $1 million a year.
Yeah. So shout out to him, man. He's a really good guy, even for sharing his knowledge and stuff.
Truth, man. Truth. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Dude, you are right behind Jaden's coattails, man. You were just kicking butt out there. I love watching your success, watching everything explode out there. Excited to potentially see you on Shark Tank here up in the coming year or so, or whatnot in the future. Heck, by then you'll probably be running the company, so I don't even know, man. But appreciate you for coming on. I love it, and we'll see you around. I'll have you on in the future so you can give everybody an update.
Thanks a lot, Jordan. I appreciate everything that you do, and wishing you the best with this podcast and everything in your endeavors with business and whatnot. And yes, let's keep in touch, brother.
Of course. Thanks, Jay. Appreciate you.
Take care, man. See ya.
Bye.